Thank you, Bob.
Speak up.
Oh, I am.
Where'd you go? You know where you put it?
Here's the pen.
Go. Okay. Bryan Clement here from Dovetail Learning. Ready to hit the road. Okay, do it.
That's the mic check. Yep, there we go. There we go. Good morning. Hello. First of all, I just want to thank Michael Cook for the invitation and opportunity to speak. And to see the history of this organization and what's being done internationally and locally is very, very humbling. So again, my name is Bryan Clement. I'm Director of Program and Partnerships at Dovetail Learning, which is home of the Toolbox, which is social and emotional learning curriculum in the K through 6 school systems. Now, I want to make sure I'm not telling people things they already know because the organization is based here in Sebastopol, and founder Mark Collin might be familiar to some of you. Is anyone familiar with Toolbox? Any capacity? Oh, great. We're at Reach School, Apple Blossom, and Castle Preschool. Reach, Apple Blossom, Parkside are some of our local schools here that is where we started. And so, as you can see, the goal is building resilience, self-mastery, and empathy within children. We really do see the emotional state of the child as a prerequisite for the learning. Before I move any further along, I failed to introduce myself and my background. I'm an educator. I spent over 15 years as a 6th grade teacher, 3rd grade science, 7th, 8th grade PE. I was a vice principal and principal, and then most recently, before coming to this job in January, I was advancement director. So raising funds to do the good work that all of you do, so I truly, truly appreciate that. Most importantly and most proudly, I'm a father of 3, 6-year-old boy, a 3-year-old girl, and a 1-year-old girl. So I'm just happy to be here and thank my wife for giving me some time to come present. Ultimately, Mark Collin, our founder, in 1993, up in Cazadero here, local, spent time working on his MFT hours. And there, he thought he was going to spend 3 months with children. He ended up spending 9 years developing what is now the Toolbox curriculum. And most specifically, and what we want to make sure everyone knows, is that this curriculum came from the children themselves. The word education is actually 2 Latin words together, educare, which means to train or to mold, but we really want to emphasize this more nuanced version of educere, which means to bring out what is within. So philosophically, these capacities within children are already there, and we ask that the teachers and staff of school climate draw out from those children what they already know to be true. So, we like to see it as a prevention and intervention model for those children, and to kind of ground us and keep us all in the same room as I continue on, given my sort of limited time and I want to be able to answer questions. We always think it's important just to show a little video and make sure everyone's seeing the same things and hear from the children themselves.
Sometimes I feel like that. If there wasn't a toolbox, people would be arguing, screaming, dancing around in class, and getting into fights and arguments and stuff. And you're squeezing really tight on your hands, you're ready, you have a face on, your face is getting hot. When I get really sad, upset, when you need some help,
I use them when I get mad so I don't go off the handle.
we had to use it a whole bunch of times to stand up against a bully.
Yeah.
At school, before I had the toolbox, I couldn't go to a safe place when I was frightened. I couldn't go like this.
It gives them sort of a sign pointing to this is what's inside you, this is what you have. These are strategies and these are ideas and concepts that you already possess.
It's a very powerful program that provides a common language for kids, parents, staff. It's beyond a program, it's like a way of life. It's so natural and it comes so freely to all ages, and it works.
It helps me have fun with things, meet new people, have friends, keep control of what I'm doing, let them go, figure out what I'm doing, and control my actions. With Toolbox, there may not be as many fights, or kids might think more before they act.
When people bother me, I think, oh wait, Toolbox. I can take breaths, or we can stop and talk and I can listen to what they have to say.
You put your eyes to their eyes and your ears to their ears and your heart to their heart, and you talk to them and communicate.
So the ears and eyes do their job. They listen and the eyes look, but the heart is taking all that information. And when it comes to your heart, then the brain knows what to do.
Just like sit there and think about what happened really, and then you see if it was my fault, if any of it was my fault. And if it was, then I would go talk to that person and say that, okay, I'm sorry about this. And then they would sometimes not forgive me, they'll think about it, or they would forgive me right away. She actually cares, and she actually cares about me, but she also cares about herself. And if she cares about me, then we're like both balanced.
So there's certain situations that it brings your courage, because you have to believe in yourself. You have to believe and trust that you can do it. You can't just say, I can't do this. And that means you're losing your courage and not doing it. And that brings courage when you go, I can do this. I might be struggling, but I can do this.
It's really important to know that you have these tools yourself. So I think it could be something that I could use as well as the students.
I've noticed that like grown-ups, they didn't have Toolbox. They didn't have this kind of thing. And so I end up like saying, oh Mom, just use your breathing tool, breathe in.
They don't use their tools at all. And it just really throws me because I've learned Toolbox so much. It's just, wow.
Well, I breathe, talk together. Even my auntie will do it, my mom, my dad, my grandma, we have a family meeting.
It's interesting to me that you really are through Toolbox creating the education of the heart. I have to know how to be in charge of my own well-being and my own essential essence and authentic self, because I know how to come home to my own nature, which no one can really take away from me. And that is the power of Toolbox.
It's like your own school inside of you. If you can remember all these, you're good.
You really need to have a Toolbox. If you don't, things are going to get way out of control. There's going to be like bullies everywhere, and then arguments popping up all over the school. Yeah. That wouldn't be good. Yeah, that wouldn't. That just wouldn't be good.
I play with all the kids to help me be a better person. Because they do help you to be a better person.
So that seeing what Toolbox really means, it has really changed my life. It's almost like a superpower to master all of these.
You can't like Toolbox. You love it.
I need the Toolbox mostly like until I die. Because it's that important to me.
Toolbox helped me understand
what's going on around me. It helps me face some of my fears.
Together, we're building children's capacity for learning and world citizenship through a common language based on personal and social awareness, self-mastery, non-violence, and kindness or empathy for others.
I can do it. It's sort of hard, but I can do it. If Caveman had found it, then it would have been a great, great, great benefit.
Well, I do want to be respectful of everyone's time. And so I will try to give a high overview of what we do. Essentially, we are a school climate initiative. We have curriculum and methodologies that the teachers deploy. It becomes a common language throughout the school and connects the school and what we're doing back to the home connection. So it is a wellness model in a lot of regards. And it's a way to rekindle children's innate capacity for wholeness, a way to redirect children back to what they already know, and a way to help children manage their own solutions. This is my first year not at a school site in all my professional career, so I miss it when I see the kids and when I'm doing the trainings that we do. I just came from a school on Monday in Richmond that had over 101 suspensions K through 6. So we're looking to shift the model in which we deal and interact with these children and help them help themselves, because the domestic violence issues, all these things that we are seeing is sort of an epidemiological crisis in the behaviors, in our societal issues. We look to get ahead of that, upstream of it, and inherently prevent it. Resilience, we all have a different working understanding of what that is. In my trainings, it's always some kind of component of bouncing back, a way of dealing with adversity, moving forward through what life gives you and deals with, right? Defeats, but not being undefeated. So, in the research, what is the #1 single factor in a student's or a young person's resilience? And this is me, you've got to come out into the room, and again, I'm doing a short version of this, but what would you say is the #1 factor in the research linking a child's resilience?
Self-esteem.
Self-esteem, all there. Family members, getting there? Yes. Hope, right? The #1 factor is a caring adult. And a caring adult who tells them that they have high expectations and gives that child a chance to be part of that solution. So caring adult, high expectation messaging, and a meaningful contribution on behalf of that child. So we work from the self outward, the 12 tools, which I will show you listed here shortly. Start with the breath. We work internally, moving out from the self to other to social competence. So when you become aware of self, you can reflect. You can then make choices of self-management, which being social awareness and ultimately social competence. From self to other is the model. And when we go from self to other to school, now we've made a real shift about what that school climate is and how we are interacting with our children and our students. Knowing self, empathy, acceptance, and caring, ultimately collaboration and community, which is what Rotary is about. The 12 tools themselves, we use a metaphor of a toolbox. It takes these complex concepts and makes them very concrete for the children. Students know that you pick a tool to do work. Similarly, internally, we have resources to do work out in the world, to make changes. Classic directive behavior in a classroom is about telling children what to do, and it's an external locus of control. I went through UC San Diego, did that, got my master's in education, UC Santa Cruz, and in my teaching programs, it's called classroom management. Even that language is the idea that I am the one putting parameters on how this is going. It's an external locus of control. We invite the solutions from the child in what is called an inquiry-based methodology. And it relies on the child's emotional intelligence, that gut feeling we all have. We don't want to split it from this intellectual concept. It's a both. It's aligning what you feel and what you believe together, and that control then becomes, it resides within the child. Now learning environment is totally shifted. So I talked about this idea of resilience. In our model, I'd probably be fired if I didn't actually bring what is our lanyard. It actually represents the 12 tools. You might have seen that through the video. It takes the 12 tools, and in that moment, when you inquire within a child, what could you have done? What tools could you have used? It habituates the process of agency within the decision-making process. They become meaningful contributors to their own path. They start with themselves, they reflect, and then from there, they have these tools for agency. I'll read them in case you can't. Breathing tool, quiet, safe place, listening, empathy, personal space tool, using our words, garbage can, taking time, please and thank you, apology and forgiveness, and patience, and ultimately courage. Courage to do the right thing and use your tools. Now, given the time constraints, I'll just tell you a little bit about the construction for each of them. You name the tool. By naming the tool, you make it concrete. It becomes a concept within the child. The tagline is a call to action. It is an I statement. It says, I calm myself and I check in. And then the reflection, when I take a breath, I'm more aware. Each of the tools has an icon. That icon is a visual cue. So it's around the room and around the school. And then also it has a total, sorry, there's a little technical, total physical response. Meaning there's a hand gesture, a non-verbal representation of that tool. So, in the essence of time, I'm going to go back to the previous screen so we can see them all listed. And in the last 2 minutes here, I'm going to whip you through some of the hand gestures so you can at least leave knowing what the kids know over the course of the year. And really, it's the habit and the spiraling curriculum throughout the grade levels and the practice of inviting the children that it becomes part of who they are in their own decision making. Right? So it's a practice. The breathing tool has a lot of neurobiological effects, calming, this concept of mindfulness. It started in 1993, before that was a real popular term, but it is mindfulness in all concepts. So the breathing tool is a measured breath. So you breathe in, breathe out. Quiet, safe place. Here, the icon is the Carpenter headphones and they go within. So the breathing tool takes them to neutral. The quiet, safe place is the imagery. It's about a place where they feel safe, calm, regulated. It shifts them into a positive psychology zone where all their sort of neurobiology, the DHEA, dehydroepiandrosterone, starts to take effect. It's where the prefrontal cortex gets activated. It's the critical thinking. And you can't do that if you are in a heightened or fearful state. The cortisol levels go up. So breathing tool, quiet, safe place, takes you into positive. The listening tool, that's a stud finder. This is the icon, you listen. Part of that is, as we all know, studs are behind the wall. So you need to listen deeply to understand. And not to agree necessarily, which is a huge distinction, but you need to listen to what's behind their words and actions to try to connect. Empathy starts with identifying that there is another, right? Self to other. Thinking about those feelings. And we have activities and practice that help engender that within a classroom. Personal space, it's a powerful concept. It's where my personal space, I have a right to my space and so do you. Using our words. So personal space. Ooh, I forgot that imagery. So empathy tool is a balance, a level. We talk about empathy for yourself and for others. And it's a balance. Often we think about empathy meaning caring for someone else. But if you can't manage yourself, we're all going down with the ship, right? It's the lifeguard, being able to push away, to being conscious of that. Personal space, the icon is a string. The string line actually physically creates that space. And this is the movement. Using our words, Carpenter's pencil, air writing. So within a classroom, these nonverbal cues are very helpful. I can't teleport myself to the other side of the room to tell someone to use their words or use their personal space, but it's a nice gesture that you use effectively. Garbage can tool, I let the little things go. The imagery is holding the garbage can and then throw it away. I can walk on by. We make distinctions within the curriculum, however, a caveat, that not everything's little, and you need to use other tools to address it for self-harm or injury. Taking time tool, it's really about attentional regulation. I use time wisely, meaning sometimes I need to be focused, sometimes I need to step back. And awareness about how to do that. Please and thank you are magic words. The lock opens. Apology and forgiveness. It's carpenter's glue, comes together. Words that transform and repair. Patience tool. That's a planer, right? It's a very specific thing. And then the courage tool. The courage is a carpenter's lamp. It's a light, and the imagery is here. My heart is the light, and the rib cage is protecting it. Now, I didn't really do it justice in the sense that this is what I wanted to show you. So I'm going to skip ahead just to one of our bigger questions about does it work? And you know what? I'm pretty aware that we need some time here. So I'll be happy to answer any more questions, but this one here just sort of leaves you with some of the key principles will just be on the screen. Some of the key principles will just be on the screen here.
Patience.
Technology, you need it even more, right? Oh, I'm having a flail, but I'll be happy to be here. I appreciate the invitation. We're in 150 schools in California. I just sent off a proposal to South Africa. Teachers are grabbing a hold of it and wanting it. We're translating Arabic, the Knowledge and Human Development Authority in Dubai. We should be going out there shortly. But it's a real movement that's happening. I came here in January to try to scale and partner. Be happy to answer any questions about any international work or ways to help out. But thank you. I'm here for any questions. I defer to you, Scott. And thank you guys for the opportunity to share.
Thank you. That was very informative.
Great.
I'd love to hear more.
Great.
Everybody's got to get to work, of course. So why don't you choose and lead? And you read the last four numbers.
The last four numbers are 7996. 7996.
Oh. Marty?
Rich, get richer.
Speaker gifts for you.
Thank you so
I'm sure
much.
You have lots of notes to take.
I do.
Bruce. 52. And the door prize courtesy of Mr. Allen. Allen. Where is he? He's gone. Oh, he's gone. Allen. And so, we have a joke from Mr. Jim.
And it's an extra clean joke, according to President Scott.
Way clean, that's the deal.
Way clean, exactly. So, there's an engineer and test pilot who, real successful, good at what he does, but lives a pretty colorful life, hard charging, partying guy, and everything else. So, he dies in a plane crash one day, and when he wakes up, he realizes he's in hell. He's a little disappointed, but based on some of the choices he's made in his life, he kind of understands it. Make the best out of it, like most engineers. No, it's really hot, so he finds the air conditioner and fixes the air conditioner. Cools everything down much better. Realizes they get terrible TV reception, so he takes apart the satellite box, fixes the dish, now they're getting high definition channels, and everything's much better. Time goes by and God decides to check in on the other half of creation. He looks down and everybody's drinking umbrella drinks and watching TV and having a good time. He says, what is going on? This is not supposed to be this way. And the devil says, well, ever since you sent us that engineer, things have been much, much better. God goes, oh my God, that's a mistake. We have to send him back immediately. devil says, no, I think we're gonna go ahead and keep it. God says, if you don't send it back right now, I'm gonna sue you in celestial court. The devil smiles at him and says, now where are you gonna get a lawyer?
Thanks, everybody. Go.
And trails to you until we meet again.